I just need to mute this instantly. Standard. Well, we're through to the next whatever round it is. Yeah, from minute one, I thought we were on it. Which hasn't look, we've seen it in the past as well. We've had a good start. I remember the first 20 minutes against Brighton as well, and it's it just hasn't worked out in the end. The result hasn't been there, but it feels like we've actually seen it today a good full 90 minutes. And there's a lot of kind of patterns there, like fresh players are coming back from injury. I thought Mason Mount was really, really good, brought real energy to that midfield, along with Hannibal as well. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I'd see a midfield like that, and it worked. It did. Like very high energy, and then Casemiro in there controlling everything, dictating, and Amrabat. What a player we have on our hands by the looks of it. Like hands down, he was everywhere. I think
Yeah.
Steve Bruce said it. He didn't know what position he actually played because he was everywhere. And I know we're going to have break down his stats, but his stats just tell the whole story. He was just so good tonight. And look, 3 goals as well. I can't really remember the last time other than Bayern where we scored three and actually won.
I can't. Yeah,
So
I can't
look,
remember three
gotta take
goals and a clean
positives.
sheet. I can't remember that for a while.
Yeah, a clean sheet. Jeez, what's a clean sheet? Been a while. It feels like we're in the David Moyes days.
Yeah, there's a stat there. Nick just put it in the chat. Shout out to Nick. He's not feeling too well, so shout out to him. That's why there's no watch along. If you're wondering why the watch along was, that's why he's not feeling too good. So, but yeah, he's just put in this season. McTominay 223 minutes, touches 89. Amrabat has had 60 minutes, touches 91. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that just says it all, really, doesn't it? Just says it all. But yeah,
Hmm.
let's talk on Amrabat and then we'll go through the goals and stuff like that. His first start tonight. Traditionally, he's a central midfielder, 6 and 8, and plays that. But he was playing at left back, of all places, when he started, which I don't think any of us seen coming. I know we had a lot of sort of left backs and full backs in general unavailable. Shaw, Malacia, Wan-Bissaka, and then Reguilon pulled up in the Burnley game with his hamstring, so somebody had to go left back. And Amrabat has played there before, I think, for Fiorentina, but obviously not his favourite position. How do you think he did? Like for me, he was playing left back, but like you said, he was everywhere, and he sort of almost inverted and sort of supported the midfield, which gave room for Casemiro, who we'll touch on next, to push forward and become like almost like a playmaker. But yeah, just sort of talk about Amrabat in general and like what you liked about it.
And is it like we could see we were suspecting would start in that left back position, but it was kind of the more inverted left back. We saw it later. I think it was a bit more evident then when Lindelof came on because he wasn't like taking as much risk
Yeah,
as Amrabat when he went into that position, but he still operated it really, really well. He chased down every time basically every tackle he went in for, he won. I'm pretty sure he won all these ground duels. He was like a dog, honestly, chasing a car every time, or chasing a football, I suppose
yeah,
you could say. He was not surrendering the ball. He wasn't. Then it opened the space for Casemiro to kind of go in, as you said, be that creative kind of number 8, which we haven't really seen that well. I know we've had Ericsson kind of play a bit of that, but he just doesn't really have the legs. And I don't know what it is with Ericsson this season. He just hasn't looked up to it. But Casemiro slot in, and he's passing range. Like
fantastic.
I'm not even sure. Like Madrid fans knew he was this good of a passer because he was kind of,
He never needed
seen
to,
as the
did he?
third. Didn't know. It was just pass it to Kroos or pass it to Modric, and they always got the credit for their good passing. But he's a phenomenal passer of the ball,
Yeah,
and we've seen it as well for that assist that he got. It was almost like a Bruno cross,
yeah,
where it's passed back, kind of whipped in back post, and really, really good finish from Martial. It was nice seeing him in that position, and it was great actually seeing a team not run straight through our midfield,
yeah.
and our midfielders not be isolated. It's for me, it's our best performance of the season. I don't think there's any doubts about that. And I know I'm not trying to get too excited as well because it is the cup. Um, it wasn't the strongest Crystal Palace team, but
No.
we weren't their strongest as well. There was a
Yeah.
few rotational players thrown in there. So look, you got to give credit to the 11 players that started today. I don't think anybody, even the subs who came on, had a bad game.
No, I
And
can't.
it's been a long time since I've said that.
Yeah, even Harry Maguire had a good game. I thought like he did what he had to do and
Hmm.
did it well. But yeah, there's a couple of stats on Sofian Amrabat. Um, he was ranked in the top 2% of central midfielders in Europe per 90 when he played for Fiorentina. So his progressive carrying distance was 200 yards, pass accuracy of 92%, 73 passes, progressive passes 9.61, passes in the final third 9.27, switches 1.54. That was his sort of like general thing last season for Fiorentina. And for this game in particular, 100% of tackles won. 100%. That's insane. 96% pass accuracy, 91 touches, 78 out of 81 passes completed, 5 out of 6 long passes completed, 5 out of 6 duels won, and a shot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't say much more than that. Like, the guy was class and was just all over the place. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm just sad that we only got, like, what is it, 60 minutes of it? I can't wait to see more, and I can't wait to see him in the midfield. So, yeah, really, really enjoyed Sofian Amrabat's performance. Let me just go. We were talking about Casemiro. Casemiro, you touched on it there. Casemiro was, yeah, again, played a little bit differently to how we normally see him. Normally see him in the sort of the six. He cleans up, gets past it. He scores the occasional goal and the occasional nice little diagonal. But today he played almost in like a playmaker role. He was Pirlo-esque with his passing and his set-up play and all that sort of stuff. Got a goal and an assist. I think he's our top scorer in all comps now, I believe. I think he's got like 4 goals. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Couple of stats, and I'll let you talk about him as well. 122 touches, 100 passes completed, 10 out of 14 long passes completed, 5 tackles, 3 interceptions, big chance grade, assist, and a goal. Like, what else can you say about Casemiro, man? Talk on Casemiro, because I thought, for me, my personal man of the match, I thought he was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal, as you said. What I really, really liked most was he's just really, really intelligent in the midfield. I've noticed it. I think particularly today we operated with proper triangles.
Yeah.
He kind of dropped back a lot. There was a really, really good example. I think it was in the last 10, 15 minutes around then. He was kind of in the left back position but he ended up some tight play around. They were pressing, and then he picks up the ball. He switches it over to the right back,
Yeah.
and that just killed their press, and we play through it. That's just on the defensive side of things, and then switch, kind of, what you call it, on the transition.
Yeah.
But as you pointed out, creativity-wise, he's so good. He's a really, really good passer. A lot of the time he won't get the credit because obviously he operated beside Kroos and Modric, who were arguably some of the best passers of the ball in the last decade. And it's really gone unnoticed at times, but we're starting to see it now because he's come into a United team. And look, it's been, 12 months, 13 months he's been here. And you can't argue that. You'd probably say 90% of his time here has been phenomenal. He's been like an 8 out of 10 most weeks. Only at the start of this season, and maybe the end of last season when fatigue was hitting in, have we seen the worst?
The start of the first season when he came in, Scott McTominay was keeping him out of the team, wasn't he? Because he looked slow, he looked a bit off it, didn't look quite right, did he? So,
Look, he typically, from what I've seen from Madrid fans too, he has a bit of a slow start to say, but then he plays his way into the team and he just drops performance after performance, and that's what I'm hoping he does now. Hopefully, it feels like the start of something for him now. The start of the season is now, and I'm hoping we can go on a bit of a run from that and build around that. I wouldn't oppose nearly seeing a few changes in the team, but at the weekend you have to see that pivot of Amrabat and Casemiro. I know he cannot. Amrabat operated in that kind of left inverted position, but hopefully we'll have Reguilon back, who's also been really, really good as well.
Yeah, I agree.
For us since he's come in.
A couple of people stepped up to the performance, I thought, today. I know Crystal Palace didn't look like they offered much. Like, and to be fair, I think there was 2 shots that I remember Onana having to make a saves, and they're very good saves, to be fair to him, for the guy who had nothing to do pretty much all game and then made those 2 saves. I thought he did decently well. But I thought you have to play the teams that are put in front of you, and like you have to beat them, and that's what we did convincingly. There was a couple of players I also wanted to touch on. That right hand side, I thought today was really, really good. Like the combination of Dallo and Palestri, I thought were fantastic. I thought they worked their fucking asses off, like completely just ran that right hand side, ran the channels, overlaps and little interchanges and stuff. I thought they were great. I'll touch on Palistri in a minute, but just on Diego Dallo, 101 touches, 100% tackle win rate, 62 passes completed, 5 out of 5 tackles won, 3 shots, 2 chances created, 2 dribbles completed, an interception and an assist. Like, the dude was on fire. And we've been saying about Dallo, like, pre-World Cup last season, he was untouchable. He was absolutely flying. Post-World Cup, got injured. Wan-Bissaka came back from the dead and took his spot, rightfully so, and it's been that way since the start of the season. And with Wan-Bissaka out, similar to how he was out and Wan-Bissaka took his spot, it looks like Dallo's now stepping up to take his spot back. What did you think of sort of Dallo's performance today?
I really, really liked it, and what I liked most was kind of like that kind of left side. He was dropping into the midfield as well, and that was creating a lot of space for Palestri then. And I think one little bit of a move that I saw in the first half, I think Amrabat actually made the pass a few times to switch over to that right side, and Dala was actually leading it by dropping further central.
Yeah.
And that was creating the space for Palestri. So we're off the ball movement was actually there, and off the ball tactics, which we haven't seen, I think, this season till now. And then from what I remember of the goal, I think Dallo got the touch initially and then passed it to Palestri, who then...
No, it was the other way. Palestri got the touch, gave it to Dallo, who ran past him and then put the cross in for Garnacho to scoop it in.
Across the box.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to see more of that because I know he wasn't on till the end, Rasmus Højlund. That's where he operates best, Fox in the box. And hopefully that'll be a connection that we could see a bit of now. And... yeah, he knows how to cross the ball. One of the big kind of, I suppose, criticisms of Wan-Bissaka is he's, going forward. Well, Dallo has been always really good at going forward. So hopefully we can see a bit more of an attacking kind of right side. Like, I'm not opposed to Wan-Bissaka coming back too. He obviously has been arguably second half of the season last season our player of the year.
Yeah,
Could be. It could be up there. But look, it's a good thing to have 2 players who are in hot form, who are actually playing really, really well in the same position. And what I like is, again, he can play in multiple positions. We have a few players now who can operate in different positions. So if somebody's underperforming, they can slot in there. Or like injuries happen. Yep. We didn't have a left back. He slot in left back, and he's done a job. He has multiple times as well. So he's very, very flexible. So I think he's kind of put his name down there for the starting 11. I think at the weekend he's looked really, really good, both defensively and going forward.
We might not have any choice, to be honest with you. Like, we've got no other fullbacks, so it's him or no one, mate. There was on Palestri, just like quickly, I thought he worked his fucking ass off tonight and deserved the goal. Mm-hmm. There was a couple of opportunities that he had. There was one where he gets played in. I can't remember who it was who played him in, and he just takes that extra touch, doesn't he? And just it gets away from him, which was a little bit annoying, but like, you can't have everything. But I thought he worked his ass off. And to be honest, going forward, obviously with the situation surrounding Jadon Sancho, I'm more than happy to have that. Obviously, when Anthony comes back, we don't know what's going to happen there. But I'm more than happy to have my right-hand side, Palestri, Anthony, and that switching up, like with that sort of performance that Palestri's put in. I thought he was really, really good. Ahmad's got a lot to do when he comes. I don't think he's Nick's best mate, but when he comes back, he's got a lot to do to get into this team on that right-hand side. Shah Sam, Dallo was something else tonight. Hope he continues with that. Absolutely, mate. UTFR, same again. Saturday United. Nick is, don't forget, still Kobe Mainoo coming back. Again, Kobe Mainoo's on his way back. On the midfield, like we've touched on Amrabat, who's technically played left back, and Casemiro. What are your thoughts on Mount? He only got half a game, didn't he? I thought he looked bright, personally. I thought he was good on the ball, made some good 1-2s off the ball running, that kind of stuff. I thought he looked decent. He looked a lot better than the sort of first 2 games of the season for me. And The first 2 games of the season, I was a little bit like, this is the player I expected to get. Not the biggest fan of Mount personally, but he looked a lot better for me. What were your thoughts on him?
Yeah, on and off the ball, he looked really, really good. Proper pressure on when we lost the ball. And then on the ball, he was really, really good. I think it was initially him who put Palestri through for that chance in the first half. And he also got an assist. Did he take the corner for the Casemiro goal as well?
Yeah, I believe so.
So there's no 007 for
thank God for
at this time. Yeah. There's only, there's a new 007. That's Kai Havertz now.
Yeah.
But
they can have him.
Again, yeah, they can have him. Really, really good. I think it's something that we've kind of needed now. Bruno hasn't had that kind of pressure on him where if he isn't performing, like there's a chance he'll be taken out of the team. Whilst tonight, look, he got a rest. Maybe it's a good thing, a positive thing for the weekend. I am just concerned. Did he tweak something? Did he race back too fast?
I think it was just a case of like he's not played any football since when was Spurs? Second week of September. First week of September.
I don't know. I got drunk after watching that show.
I don't blame you, mate. But yeah, like he's not played a lot of football, so I imagine it's just give him 45 minutes, get him something in his legs, and then you don't want to sort of risk anything too much. So hopefully it's that. I hope he's not tweaked something because don't need that. Don't need more injuries. Disco Sturt is in the chat. Last time we saw a Ranger pass at Old Trafford, like cast tonight. Yeah, can't remember. Can't remember, mate. I honestly can't remember. Yeah. Chivy saying Palestri was good, but needs to bulk up, getting pushed off the ball too easily. Yeah, he's quite a slight lad. But I'm sure they can work on that in the gym. I'm sure they can sort of do that. UTFR, Amrabat had unleashed Casemiro, who transformed into Zico. Yeah, that I need to see that Casemiro Amrabat pivot Saturday, or Sunday. I can't remember when we were passing, but yeah, need to do that. Chivy, same here. Sam wasn't Mount's biggest fan, but very impressed with the way he kept play ticking, didn't dwell on the ball unnecessarily, and often made the right choice. Yeah, totally agree with you, mate. Couple of quotes from Sophie and Amrabat I thought were quite interesting. I'm not at the best at my moment. I mean, if he's not at the best of his moment, fucking hell, what's to come? I think it's normal pre-season and my injury. If you play games stronger, you'd be better. Playing at left back, I play where I can help team. Even goalkeeper, I play for the badge. Fucking hell, can you imagine that? I think it was the perfect night. I dreamed this as a kid. So yeah, he's saying all the right things, which I really, really like. Obviously, we had a couple of nice little debuts. Hannibal, I thought, was solid, tidy, did well. Lots of pressure. Was on the early yellow, and I thought maybe he's going to get sent off here, but did well. And he seemed to have like a little joke with Ten Hag when he came off. He might have been saying, "Thank God you didn't get sent off." And then Dango as well came on. I thought he looked really, really well. Did really tidy work. Didn't go down too easily. To get the
ball forward.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he looks like a right player there, like Dango. So I'm interested to see how he develops as well. And then the goals. Garnacho, I thought was solid. He normally when he starts, I think sometimes he sort of gets lost in the game a little bit. But I thought today solid, constant runs. Constantly like having a go at that the Crystal Palace fullback who had a nightmare of a time. The right hand side as well in particular. I think Ayew had to come back constantly to help him out because he was just getting overrun. There was quite a few sort of good little performances in there. Anthony Martial with a top goal by the way as well. Like smashed it into the side foot with who was the assist again? Was it Dalot? Absolutely fantastic.
Casemiro, I think it was for that.
Was it Casemiro?
Yeah.
Casemiro, and then Casemiro with a goal as well from the header. Who knew we could score from corners? When did that happen?
2 in 2 weeks. I know one didn't count.
Yeah. When did that happen?
I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
Yeah, we're fucking scoring from corners now, which is insane. Yeah. Also, Johnny Evans came on and almost scored from a corner again. Fucking keeper saved it off the line. So, like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what's happened with corners, but there you go.
Not taking him short anymore.
No, thank God for that. UTFR, he's here, he's there, he's fucking everywhere. Amrabat. I like that chant. That's a good one. Nick saying, Ten Hag asked about Jadon Sancho. I don't speak about players that aren't available. Yeah, his career's done at United, isn't it? It's fucking done. Alexis Sancho can kiss my ring piece. He can piss off back to Watford. I don't know who that's in. Alexis Sancho? Is it? Oh, is it Alexis Sanchez? Is
Alexis
that what it is?
Sanchez
Okay, I get you. I'm
must
with
be
you
a play
now.
on that.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Ten Hag on Sofian Amrabat. He's a player that will give the team what they need, gives quality, energy, and a dynamic to the team. There's still a lot to come. Ten Hag also said it's a good night. We played quite well, dominated the game, is what we were looking for. And then he said also Harry Maguire was very solid, and I agree with that. Yeah, Harry Maguire, any sort of stuff on Harry Maguire? I thought he did what he had to do well. Good tackles, got his head on the ball, got things going forward. I thought absolutely solid, like performance, like no issues with it whatsoever.
Made a really good block in the first half as well. It was a good goal scoring chance, but he blocked the ball really well. There's only one, I think, occasion where there's a bit of question marks, but I think Johnny Evans kind of took a step forward and it kind of isolated Maguire then, who done well to kind of push. I think it might have been Mateta, was it?
Yes.
A bit further out to the left, just to kind of reduce the angle on goal. And I think that's when Onana actually saved with his chest.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
Yes, but good performance tonight, and I don't know if I heard boos when he had the ball. Was there a few
No, I don't
boos
think
down
so.
there? No. Okay,
It just
maybe
seems
a
to
bit of
be.
jeering or something.
It seems to be with Maguire with the booing. It seems to be when we're on tour with like fans in other countries, and then when he's with England, that seems to be when it happens. Like at Old Trafford, I've never heard him being booed, but maybe that's just me. But Chivy, even though it was a weak Palace team, it was a good result to build confidence on. That's it, mate. Like that's it. Win is a win. Like the more wins you rack up, the better it gets for you. Like the more easy it is to sort of roll those out. And we've got quite a favourable run, haven't we? We've got Palace again this weekend, and then we've got is it Galatasaray or is it Copenhagen?
Galatasaray Champions League.
Galatasaray, and then it's who's it's a low team in the Premier League after that. Let me get the fixture list up. Let me have a look. Yeah, I know the run is favourable because we've played a lot of big teams recently.
But this is what you kind of want. But this is what you want this time. Like, we need to build confidence. We need to build wins. I don't care if it's ugly. Look, we had the ugly result there last weekend against Burnley. It was a hard watch. I'm not going to lie.
Nope.
But tonight, it's like we were rewarded for watching 90 minutes of that dross.
Yeah,
last weekend.
Yeah.
And we watched 90 minutes of dominance today. I think it was our best performance to watch, I'd argue, since probably not Palace, Spurs last season at Old Trafford.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think best dominant performance.
We've seen signs of it. Like we've seen signs of that. Like we said, that we've been 20-minute FC recently. Haven't we? Play really well for 20 minutes, and then we just concede and collapse, and then the game just goes away. And this is like you said, the first time I've seen 90 minutes where we've performed to our highest level and not took our foot off the pedal. Like they literally had like 2 chances, I think. That was it. I can't remember any other chances. I think they barely got in our half for the most part. So yeah, I think we did really well. But it is the running. So we got Palace on Saturday, and then on Tuesday Galatasaray. Following Saturday Brentford, which could be a tough game. Brentford it's a bit of a tough game. Then Sheffield United, which in the form they're in, they got like whooped 8-0 by Newcastle, didn't they? So that could be a decent game. And then we've got Copenhagen in the Champions League. So that's a favourable run. That's quite a nice little run. They're all winnable games, I think. Galatasaray is going to be an intense atmosphere, but I think team-wise, I think we should definitely be able to sort of get some results there. But yeah,
home or away?
Which one?
The Galatasaray game.
At home.
Okay.
So yeah, we're at home. We're at home for the next 3 weeks. So at home to Palace, home to Galatasaray, home to Brentford, and then away to Sheffield United. So yeah, it's quite a nice little favourable run. UTFR, we've got to get behind these lads like Harry and Donny. As long as they wear the United shirt, we'll back them. Absolutely. I thought Donny, I thought his career was dead, but he came on. I thought he was really, really tidy, played well. Had some nice little flourishing touches. Could have had a couple of opportunities to score, but yeah, I thought Donny was decent. The home games definitely helped increasing confidence, working on patterns of play from Shah Sam. I agree. Babatosh Hazarika, I apologise if I fucked your name up, mate. Hello, mate. Today it felt like we were City, not the old United. I mean, I'm not going to compare us to City, but I appreciate the sentiment and the compliment. But yeah, is there anybody else you wanted to touch on that I didn't mention that you think needs highlighting?
I know we kind of touched briefly on Garnacho. Do you think he kind of put his name on that team sheet for Saturday, given Rashford's bad form recently?
Yeah, it could be. I think I would love to see him start
Hmm.
Saturday, but I just think Ten Hag's going to start Rashford. I just think he's going to
Hmm.
go stronger in the league, and I think you'll see Bruno come back, and you probably see
Hmm.
Mount go down to the bench. I think you'll probably see Palestri. Maybe see Palestri start. Maybe Palestri keeps his spot
Hmm.
because I think he's earned it, and we haven't got anyone else on who can play on that right. Because I don't want to see Bruno on that right hand side. I'd like to see
No.
Bruno centrally with Amrabat and Casemiro. So I'd like to see that. Hopefully, like you said, Region's back for
Hmm.
Saturday because we need a left back.
Any word on Leach?
Not heard anything. I'm not seeing anything.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's concerning. Rashford,
Hmm.
Ericsson are all trash. I don't agree with you there, mate. But entitled to your opinion. Youngsters are really good. Amrabat's a solid player. Yeah, I agree with that bit for sure.
Hmm.
There's a couple of stats there head to head. I'm just gonna have a sort of run through that. Possession wise,
Hmm.
I was shocked at this. I thought it'd be a lot higher. United 68.8 to 31.2. I thought it'd
It's
be
not
like
like we were
70s,
in the 80s.
80s. Yeah, I thought it'd be up
Hmm.
there, but there you go. 14 shots to
I only saw Onana twice, I
yeah,
think, in that
exactly.
game there.
14 shots to 4, 7 on target to 2, 6 shots blocked. None of theirs were blocked. Passing 90.3% to 81%. Clear cut chances 3 to 0. 7 corners to 0. 1 offside to 0. 72.2% tackles. 54.5% aerial duels. So yeah, we just sort of out dominated him in every single statistic, I think, and just rightfully so in the
Early
scoreline.
physically.
Yeah, I think
Physically is the big one, and that's down to Amrabat, I think, going in with Casemiro. And you're
yeah.
going to see a lot of that, I think, when the two of them play together.
I hope so. I hope like he gets more and more game time. And if he's saying he's not 100% yet and there's more to come, then I can't wait because I thought he had a smashing performance. So if he's got more to come, then yeah. Ten Hag on Dango, who we did sort of briefly mention. Dango, it's a good birthday for him, but I'm not the coach who gives opportunities to players for no reason. They have to earn it. Once they earn it, they have their chance. They have to earn it every day in training. So he must be doing well in training, Dango, because he's had a hell of an opportunity there, and he's been in and around the team. Ten Hag asked if Sancho deleting his Instagram is a step towards a solution. He said, "I don't know. It's up to him. He's not giving anything, is he?" Um, he also said on Garnacho, his contribution was not good enough in his starts versus Wolves and Spurs. I agree, but he also had some good actions. You see, he's always a threat in the game, even when he's not playing well. Yeah, I agree. Again, totally honest from Ten Hag there. Should we pick a man of the match? For me, it's got to be Casemiro. I'd love to pick Amrabat, but I think just because Casemiro played the entire game, you have to give it him. Goal, assist, and overall play was absolutely fantastic. But feel free to sort of put your own in.
No, I think I agree with that. Like, my man of the match would have been Amrabat, but he only played, what, about an hour?
Yeah,
Um, but, like, I put him on par, I think, with Casemiro. Like, if you're in terms of rankings, I know we're probably going to go into the ratings as
yeah,
well. Um, but I probably put them as the same. But just the fact that Casemiro completed the full match, I had to give it to him. Not even for the goal and the assist, because at the end of the day, that isn't really what he's there for.
no,
Even though he's been getting on the end of a lot of things, I think it's like 20 goals and assists in 53, 54 games for
crazy.
us for a defensive mid, which that's crazy. Honestly, I haven't seen stats like that for a DM. But yeah, I'd probably have to give it to him just for the 90 minutes alone. Amrabat, honorable mention,
Yeah,
on par,
I
honestly.
agree. We did a poll in the chat, and I put Casemiro, Garnacho, Palestri, and then other, and then just let us know in the chat who it was. And 81% of the people voting picked Casemiro, so I think that sort of stands out. But the thing, 6% for Garnacho, Palestri, and any other. Babatosh is saying for me, Amrabat. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, mate. Like, he's
Mhm.
equally as good. Shah Sam saying Casemiro man of the match. So yeah, there you go. People sort of seem be. I wasn't going to do the player ratings, but since you bring it up, fuck it, let's do it. Onana, I think B minus because he didn't really do fuck all during the game, but then when he was called upon, made 2 great saves, stopped them scoring. So B minus for me, I think was did what he had to do and kept a clean sheet. I don't think you can ask much more.
Yeah, I think just over average rating, has wasn't really involved that much, but when he was called into action and he stepped up. That one save with the foot kind of reminded me of De Gea, in the right way,
Yeah,
not like the other week where it was like in the wrong way.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I think B minus is fair.
yeah.
It will be.
Um, Babatosh, any idea takeovers have lots of controversy coming? No, there was the update with the Jim Radcliffe saying that he's restructuring a bid earlier today. We put a news story on the Instagram, so go check it out if you missed it for the full course. But yeah, nothing else. Um, Dallo, I thought was excellent. Really, really good. Was like one step below being man of the match for me, below Casemiro. So for me, B plus. I thought he was fantastic. Ran the game, worked his ass off, got an assist. Yeah, and defensively looked solid, even though Palace didn't really offer much. But I thought it was decent. So for me, B plus. I thought he was excellent.
B plus. I'm still, yeah, he got the assist as well, so you have to remember that. Kept a clean sheet, looked good offensively, defensively, dropped into midfield really well. And they seem to be having a bit of chemistry between him and Palestri kind of going at the
Yep.
moment. So I think B plus, yeah, is a good
Yeah.
rating for him.
We'll do the centre backs as a pairing. Varane
Yeah.
Maguire, I thought did their jobs. Didn't really need to
Hmm.
do much, but when they're called upon, did what they had to do. And Varane is class as always. So I'd go C plus, maybe B minus if you want to be generous. But I thought they just
Hmm.
did what they had to do and didn't really have sort of a lot of fires to put out. So for me, yeah, C plus.
Yeah, I think C plus as well. Like we're quite actually not disagreeing
Yeah,
anything here. C plus is fair. They didn't really make as much blocks. They kind of pushed the players out wide when they needed to. I know Maguire had that good block in the first half, but I think as a pairing, C plus is a good rating.
Amrabat left back, I think A minus because I think he's one step
Mm.
below Casemiro, playing out of position as well. Let's just put like that on the table. Inverted really well to help Casemiro to push up. Was everywhere on a pitch. I read his stats out before. I think it was like 100% tackle rate or something like
Yeah,
that. I thought he was
nice
excellent.
happen,
So
right?
yeah, A minus for me. Like, I thought he was absolutely
Mhm.
stunning.
I hope he just given the A just because it's look first start under the lights at Old Trafford. A lot of pressure as well, like
Yep.
for your first kind of full start. And I know it's kind of against a weaker kind of side, but still a lot of pressure. And he was, I, I think he was the best player on the pitch tonight. If he played the full 90, he would have got man the match for me. But I give him an A, I would. But look, there's no like third party to settle it,
No.
so I don't mind A minus
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Yeah.
fine.
I just seen Ten Hag says McTominay and Ericsson missed the game through illness. That's why they weren't on there. So it's interesting.
Funny enough,
Um,
they'd be making me feel ill all
yeah,
season.
Scott can stay ill for my
Yeah.
take, but there you go. Casemiro, I mean, because I gave A minus thing, and then Casemiro was man of the match, and he got a goal and assist. I have to give him an A or an A plus because I just thought he was excellent. Everything you want from Amrabat, he did. He scored. He was defensive. He was assisting. He was putting crosses in. His passing was fantastic. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I can't remember him like making a misstep at all. So A or A plus, just to differentiate him from Amrabat, because I thought he stood out as the man of the match.
He's looking like the Casemiro of old that we've kind of seen from last season. And as I said earlier, I just hope it's the start of it now. Because when he's in really, really good form, he's he's the best DM in the world,
Yeah,
you could argue. Like,
yeah,
I think yeah, A plus. We'll go with A. Goal and an assist. He was the difference really in that midfield as well. They didn't usually players have been running through our midfield, especially when he's been playing as well. But today we didn't see it. He just controlled everything. I know Amrabat kind of broke things up, but when he had the ball, then passed it to Casemiro over the top. He'd switch it in with a tackle, in with good short range, like kind of smart passing. He didn't put a foot wrong tonight.
no. Maria Steyer, McTominay, big strapping lad, ill again, couldn't make it up. There you go. Mason Mount, I thought was decent. He obviously only got half of football, so it's kind of hard to sort of give him a thing. But I thought what he did do, he did well. Off the ball stuff was fantastic. It was constant pressure, made work of himself, all that sort of stuff. So I'd go with a C plus, maybe a B minus if you want to be generous, but very solid display, and I hope to see more. I hope to see him build on that and get better and better and better, because if he can do performances like that and then step up, like you said, he can challenge Bruno for that spot and put Bruno under pressure to start pushing his performances up. So I think it's a good start, and I'm hoping to see more.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more tonight as well, but taking off at halftime. But I don't think he was ready for. Probably the next thing we'll see will be the hour mark.
Yeah,
That's he'll have an hour, and then it'll be 90 minutes. He's gonna edge him in briefly every now and then. But yeah, I think C plus as well. I know he got the assist for the Casemiro
yeah.
goal from the corner. Geez, nearly that alone, I give him an A plus because we haven't seen much of the assistant from corners.
No.
But no, C plus I think is fair. Good start, good return. Again, somebody who's come in, he's English, a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
Number 7.
People were number 7, and people were getting ready to make 007 jokes, but look, he's after getting an assist now, so that joke can die. And I think C plus, yeah, he had a good half.
Yeah, I think same with Hannibal. I thought he was solid. Some really good pressure. Works his fucking ass off, which makes such a difference when you watch like Scott McTominay. You just can't be asked to even fucking run when he loses possession. Like Hannibal will chase down lost causes. He doesn't care. Like he'll just run for the ball. Really aggressive. Puts players under pressure to help make mistakes. I thought his passing was good. I thought he offered quite a lot. And why it wasn't as good as his performance against Burnley, which I thought was a better performance for him, I still think it was solid. So I'd go with a C plus. I thought he was really solid.
Likewise, C plus, really, really good at pressing. He kind of reminds me in a little way of Ander Herrera. I know you're a man.
I love him.
But that tenacious, or what's the word?
Yeah,
tenacious?
that's the word. Yeah, tenacious.
Yeah, tenacious. He just has that in him, and he just will chase the ball everywhere it goes. A bit, reckless at times. You're thinking,
Sometimes.
okay, calm down a bit. Yeah, he got that early yellow card, and then he made 1 or 2 tackles, giving away free kicks.
Yeah.
In the second half, then, and I was a bit worried at that point. I was like, look, it's a 2-goal lead.
Don't get sent off.
Don't get sent off. That's just going to destroy the flow of the game. Yeah. And look, I know he came off then, and it looks like they had a laugh about it. But that's what I want to see. Those sort of players. He's given them a chance now. Especially he played against Burnley. Pretty much done a similar job like that, and that's what I like to see. These players come in, and if somebody's not playing well, why not give a youngster a chance like that? And look, he's been delivering now the last 2 performances, so C plus.
Yeah, that's what I thought like they do with Alvaro Fernandez with our sort of left back situation. Obviously, he's gone out on loan then, but Hannibal's a perfect example of like Scott's not performing, Eriksen's looking overwhelmed in the physical games. You've put Hannibal in, and he's taking his spot. He's taking Scott McTominay and Eriksen's spot away from them because they're not performing. So, and that's what young players should do. Speaking of young players, Garnacho, again, solid. Normally when he starts, he's not the greatest. He's normally better as an impact sub, but I thought his start was really, really good. Got the goal, obviously. He made some really good runs. Made a nuisance of the left back, the right back for Palace. And I thought he looked really, really good. So I'd give him a B- just because he got the goal. But again, I hope to see more from him. I want to see him put pressure on Rashford on that left-hand side, because when Rashford's not performing, we need an option. We need somebody to challenge him, because obviously Sancho's not here, Anthony's not here. We need somebody to sort of push him quite like to wire to step up his performances. And I think if Garnacho puts in stuff like that, he'll do it.
I've wanted to see it now. I know he's been doing it for a little bit, but I saw it a bit more evident today with he's cutting in and taking a shot. Like, I think it was one good chance at the end there was. Keeper made a really good save, but it was a good shot it was. Rashford, he tends to have his head down a lot of the time, but what I noticed was when Garnacho kind of cut in, he kind of put the head up quickly, and he'd either realise, okay, it's a good chance to take a shot here, but he also made the right decision in terms of passing it back into the midfielder across the box. And that's something Rashford hasn't been really doing. He's been cutting in, putting his head down, and just shooting on goal. It's like he doesn't even know where the goal is. He's just been shooting. He doesn't have his head up, but Garnacho's actually holding his head up. He's looked dangerous whenever it's come to the edge, and he made a really, really good run, and he done really well. I think the ball was initially behind him as well for the goal. So he's kind of leaning back a bit, and a really, really good finish. So I think, yeah, B plus is a
Yeah.
fair rating as well. And I'm hoping to see him start now against Palace at the weekend as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Palestri, I thought again we've spoke about him like quite a bit during this thing. I think I can't give him a B minus because he didn't get the goal,
Hmm.
but he was involved. So it's somewhere between C plus B minus. I thought he deserves a B minus, but again because if we put Garnacho with the goal, then I've got to sort of work out some separation. But I thought he was really really solid.
Yeah, he's absolutely electric. It's somebody who has had more kind of game time for Uruguay than us,
Yeah,
and it's such a weird situation. But look, he's stepped up to the plate, I think, given the absence of any right winger at the club
yeah,
right now. Um, what I like most about him is just like how he can go from nearly a stand and walking position to full sprint
yeah.
really, really fast,
And he tracks
and
back
he
as
can leave.
well. Like he gets back
Yeah.
and does the dirty work.
Exactly. And I know Anthony is good for doing
Yeah,
that, but as opposed to the other player on the other side who doesn't do much tracking back,
yeah.
it's nice to actually see a player just give it his all. And again, another youngster coming in and performing now in the last kind of, is it 2 games he played, or did
Yeah,
he
yeah.
play against Bayern too, as well, did he?
Yeah, he played against Bayern. Yeah, it's his three.
Yeah. Three. So obviously Ten Hag's has like acknowledged that he's playing well, and he's that's three kind of games now in a row for him. So look, just keep it up. There's a bit less pressure on him in a sense that he doesn't have anybody just waiting in the wings
Yeah,
to take over if he's having a bad game. But he keeps stepping up. He does. He's off the ball work on the ball as well. I know he didn't get an assist or a goal tonight, but still, like the work that he done doesn't go unnoticed. So I think C plus
yeah.
for me.
Finally, Anthony Martial. I thought for the most part he was quiet. There was a couple of little moments where he seemed to be pressing, working, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I didn't. It wasn't a thrilling Anthony Martial performance. But got a goal, fantastically well taken. And that's what your striker's there to do at the end of the day. Like your striker, even if he has a poor game or if he's quiet, if he comes up with a goal, that's what he's there for, and that's what he does. Obviously, he can't play 90 minutes. Like Ten Hag's managing that really well because Højlund came on like sort of 15 minutes from the end, but got a goal. So C plus, would you say? Like, 'cause I don't think he had much impact on the game for as much as like Palistri or Garnacho did, but he got a goal. So yeah, it's a difficult
Yeah,
one, that one.
it is because I've seen it particularly with Hoyland recently. He's kind of build up play, kind of holding a man off, putting it out to the wing has been really good. But we didn't really play through the middle with Martial tonight. I thought we played mainly on the wings,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked out. It did. But like I know he had a quiet game, but he still like
Yeah,
when he was called upon, when the ball landed at his feet, he delivered. He did.
yeah,
Really, really good finish, really good pass. A really, really good run as well because it wasn't necessarily through the middle. He kind of dropped out to the left,
yeah,
kind of wing, kind of behind. I think it was Nathaniel Klein, and I think it was Garnacho kind of moved into the more striker position just behind, which dragged the kind of centre backs, which gave him the space to run.
mm-hmm.
So it was good. I think it was a good tactical move as well. Probably something that they've been working at. Really good finish, and look, it's good to see a striker actually be on the score sheet as
Yeah.
well. Add a bit of competition. I know we kind of wanted him out for large parts, but look, Hoyland's the only other striker we
Yeah.
have.
And
So
he's
look,
here, like
competition is good competition.
he's not going anywhere. Like at least till
Yeah.
January, and like, I don't think he does go in January because I don't see us buying a striker in January. So if this is going to be his thing, like he's going to either come on for the last 15 minutes to replace Højlund, or he's going to play in these sort of games to give Højlund a break. Then if he scores goals like that when he comes on or when he's up, I'm all right with that. Like
Yeah.
as long as we don't rely on him as our main striker, I'm all right with
Yeah.
that. Like I'm fine with that.
Exactly, and as long as we don't have to watch Rashford play through the middle, I don't want to put myself through
Oh,
that
fucking
again.
Veghorst. Like, Jesus Christ, like, I
Mhm.
can't.
Look, there's elements of it too. He's a good dribbler. He still has a bit of pace. He does as
Yeah.
well.
He's finishing. He's clinical
Uh,
when he finishes
yeah.
as well.
hmm I'd like to maybe see him, out in the left every now and then. Add a bit more I suppose, competition to Rashford. I'm not trying to be anti-Rashford here
No, no,
at
no,
all. It's just he just hasn't really
no.
been at his best this season. And look, we've seen a few players now kind of wake up and start to perform now in the last three games. Like there was spells in that Bayern game where we're kind of looking. There was a few minutes where we played really well, we were dominating, and then it's just gone off. But now we've kind of seen it in the last two. Like we've had a hard fought victory, and now we've had a dominating performance. Maybe he can play into that. It's something I'd like to see. I just want to see healthy competition. Any competition's good competition for me.
You just want to see players who like aren't like when it under Ollie, it just felt like certain players were going to play no matter what, whether they had a shit performance or they just didn't step. They were like, well, nobody's going to replace me, so I don't need to do anything. And now that this whole debate that's going on with Sancho and Ten Hag, you can tell which side fans are on. They're like, if they're player FC, they're on the side of Sancho. If they're on the club side, then they're on Ten Hag side, because this is what has to happen. Power needs to be stripped away from these players on massive fucking wages who are just demanding when they play and when they decide to play, and not being able to be dropped. Whereas Ten Hag has come in and gone, no, if you don't play well, you don't fucking get in the team, which is what I want to see. And long may it continue. And if Rashford gets competition via Garnacho, via Martial, like you said, then so be it. I'm happy with that. Like, he has to then play well to get back in, which is how it should be. Just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It's gone a little longer than I expected it to be, but there is a lot to talk about, so it's fine. I apologise for the shitty background. I have just moved into a new house. I'm in the basement, but it will start to look good. I'm going to build a little set. I'm going to get some studio lights. It's going to look good in a couple of weeks, months, so keep your eyes tuned. Adam, you got anything else to leave us with before we check off?
Well, it's on to the next. Back-to-back wins. Can we make it 3 in a row? I know we're against the exact same side.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for an exact same performance. Yep. I take even half of that and just win. I think I'm at the point now. We're in the league.
3 points.
We just need to get points on the table. Yeah, that's it. I don't care if it's a hard watch.
No.
Look, the cup competitions you get through, you can build momentum in them. But we need to start getting points on the table, because we're already, is it 9 points behind Man City?
I think 12,
Oh, is it 12? Jesus Christ. It's worse than I thought. There you go. And it's only, what, 7 games into the season.
Yeah.
Like, it's sickening that. And many tipping us, can we compete in this? But look, teams will drop points.
Absolutely.
I'm confident of that. And we have a favourable run coming up. But just heads down, concentrate. Back the team. I can guarantee after this great win, there's going to be some noise around the club that's going to come out. Inevitably, it always does.
Oh, yeah, always.
I don't know what it is. So we can start taking our bets.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen tomorrow? Probably Sancho's going to come out with something. More news. Just to kind of sour the good performance tonight. But look, just back the team, back the manager as well. And I think the club have put it out that the manager is the main man.
Yeah, never a dull day at Manchester United, as always. We will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what will be happening. Depends on how Nick's feeling. But if not, I'll fill in, do a new show. We'll do there'll be something around tomorrow. Follow the socials. Check out all the stuff that we've got on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that nice stuff. Thank you to Adam for joining us. United win 3-0. It's a good victory. It's a good performance. Let us know in the comments how you feel about the performance. Put your man in the match. All that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.